Is the off-grid lifestyle really sustainable and good for the environment? And what would happen if all humans decided to go off-grid? Hi, my name is Eric and you are watching Norwegian Farm Life. So me and my wife dream about an off-grid lifestyle without the stressful 9-to-5 job that society wants you to have. And many people that share this dream decides to go off-grid, to be as self-sufficient as possible, to keep costs down, to avoid taking up loan, and to be free. So we admire these people and envy their lifestyle. And a lot of these people make great YouTube channels with a lot of good videos. And we like to watch those videos. But every time I do, a thought creeps up in my mind. Is this lifestyle really sustainable? For those of you that do not know what off-grid means, it means that your home is not connected to any of the grids, like water, electricity, sewage, etc. To live without any of these means that you must gather your own water from stream or a well. You will need to heat your home, water and food by other means than electricity or gas. The most common for off-gridder is to use firewood. You will also need to get rid of your own waste that is often composted or burned. I'm sure that many of the aspects with the off-grid lifestyle is good for the environment, like don't buy things you don't need, get used to reclaimed materials, clothes and objects, and not wasting food. Many off-gridders also produce their own food. Now to my concerns. Many people that live off-grid make their own houses or get something cheap and old. In order to support a free lifestyle, they cannot have much loan. Those houses are less insulated than modern passive houses. In many parts of the world, you will need to heat your home. Most food also need to be cooked, and many need at least some hot water now and then. That means that this kind of lifestyle consumes a lot of firewood. Burning firewood releases CO2 into the atmosphere. Cutting down a tree also means that the root system releases the CO2 it has stored underground. If you also include the CO2 that the tree no longer absorbs until a new tree has taken its place, you have a lot of pollution. Modern wood-burning ovens also burns cleaner and more efficient than old and reclaimed stoves. Cooking or heating water in the summer with firewood is really inefficient. The reason is that much of the heat do not go into what you are heating but spreads in the surrounding. If you do not need to heat your home, that energy is wasted. Modern induction plates only heat the food or water. You can often put your hand on the plate after use. The pans are also only heated by the content inside. Depending on where you are in the world, the energy available is more or less renewable. In Norway, most of the electricity comes from hydroelectric power plants. They also have their impact on the environment, but I'm sure that if all people that used electricity switched to firewood, the consequences would be disastrous. But to grow your own food must be good for the environment, you may ask. Well, let's do a thought experiment. During a random Google search, I found that in order to be self-sufficient, we would need 10 acres. That would of course vary on where we live, but let's use that number. There are 22.2 million people in New York. If we include the surrounding areas, they would need 222 million acres to be self-sufficient. They would cover area about 1.5 times the size of Texas. There are about 7.7 billion people on Earth. They would collectively need an area bigger than all the land mass on Earth to be self-sufficient. So we would not save the Earth if everyone was self-sufficient. We would probably destroy it. Modern food making is cruel to animals, bad for the environment, but very efficient. The conversion rate for grain to meat is a lot faster in a feedlot than if the cow would grow naturally on grass. It also produces less greenhouse gases as the cow are not allowed to live as long. For those that do not know, grazing animals produce methane when they break down their food. that is a much more powerful greenhouse gas than CO2. So I'm definitely not saying that I support the modern food industry and the way we treat animals and our planet. But it seems like we have painted ourselves into a corner. Of course, I'm also not saying that my numbers are 100% correct. There are a lot of variables to consider when looking at this kind of numbers, but they are a good indication. I still think that the off-grid lifestyle is healthy for your body and your mind. But it's probably not the way to save the environment. I think to save our planet, we would need to combine the two. And now to my regular viewers who are wondering why I'm not out farming. Why am I sitting inside? Well, this is the reason. This was filmed 3 in the afternoon. And as you can see, it's not filmmaking weather. In order to make a good film, you need light and you need good weather so your cameras won't be destroyed. But we are actually now in January, and although it seems like a long time until spring, we are actually soon starting the planting season. So for those of you who like the more farm-related videos, don't worry, they are coming. And of course also we want to have some feedback. What do you think about this kind of video? Should I do more of them? Should I do less and stick to farming? Let me know what you think. For those of you who are wondering if they can still comment in Norwegian, please do. YouTube translate them automatically if you are from another country anyways, so don't worry about that. And of course I understand them and will reply in the same language. For those of you who are watching who have not subscribed, please do. That will help the channel a lot. We appreciate that. And also give us a thumbs up if you think that we deserve that. And as always, we will see you on the next video.